Hi everybody, it's David Fleming here from the Toronto Realty blog, and welcome to this week's Pick 5. Now guys, we're almost at the end of February, and so far, if I had to give an opinion on the market, I would say that it has exceeded my expectations. A lot of people thought coming into this year we were going to see a slowdown, and I really can't blame them. Now part of that, as I always say, is wishful thinking. People would love to see the market decrease or at least level off so that affordability becomes a little more in their favor. Now, part of that, of course, had to do with new mortgage rules. It had to do with higher interest rates. So far, from what I'm seeing, the condo market is just obliterating expectations. Absolutely crazy. 1,000 a square foot is a number that used to be mind-boggling. Now we're seeing that routinely reached on one-bedroom condos. There's a unit up at 68 Shooter, which is on Shooter Street. 1,000 a square. Listed at 580,000 with no parking, it's 580 square feet. Now, they may not very well get that, but if you look at the average price per square foot in that building, according to condos.ca, it's $942 a square foot. It's absolutely insane. As the freehold market, things are moving along pretty quickly as well. Maybe not to the same extent as last year. Actually, let me take back the maybe. Not to the same extent as last year, but still very surprising. So let me show you one sale. Take a look at this here. This just sold last night, 7 Broadway Avenue. So $999 sold for $1,305,000, 131% of list. We're accustomed to seeing this if, last year is still fresh in your minds. This was only a 65-foot lot and it had no parking. And yes, it was a 3-bed plus 1 and 4 bath, but $1,305,000. The last time I checked, there were 9 offers. And you know what? I mean, it was a nice place. But I mean, this is not, this is not the nicest house in the city of Toronto. It's nice. It really is. And it had some, cool functional aspects to it. But wow, 300,000 over list. Yeah. So that's where we are in the market, guys. Anyways, you can accuse me of cherry picking if you want. I'm sure there are properties out there that have sold for far less than list. I sold a place in East York that was listed at $1,500,000. We got it for $1,450,000, 50 grand under list. I think I talked about this last week, actually. I'm just still really jazzed from that. It was an incredible deal, just absolutely phenomenal value. But I'm seeing a lot of this as well. So what do I want to talk about today, guys? I want to talk a little bit more about variety. Obviously, you read the subject line in the email. We're going to look at 3-bed, 3-bath detached. And the variety I want to speak to is specifically, I do a lot of blogs on, let's say, 1-bedroom condos or investment properties. And today is really no different. But today is not geographically specific at all. So I get a lot of emails, obviously, from people that read the blog. Most of my new clientele comes from people that read the blog and either looking at Pick 5s or, what have you, basically send me an email like this. So I'm going to keep this a little more anonymous. Let's say, okay, so my husband and I are relocating from, I won't say where, looking for a summer move, ideally June or even late May. We'll have boots on the ground over Easter weekend. We'd like to start getting a feel for neighborhoods that offer the best value for what we're looking for. Our absolute must-haves are detached, 3-bed, 3-bath. From there, we're open to suggestion. So I'll save the rest of the email there. So that's interesting. So here's where my job as an agent becomes fun, because they have basically said, they haven't put a price point in there too, which is very interesting. I did talk to these guys on the phone. Of course, I said, oh, you mind if I do a Pick 5 on that? It's an interesting idea. They thought, okay, great, do a half hour for us. They weren't averse to the idea. So I'm saying this, of course, because I don't want you to think that if you email me, I'm going to broadcast it on the air. Anyways, so no price point detailed there. Must have detached and 3-bed and 3-bath. So they're coming from somewhere in the States, let's say, and they're not really familiar with either areas or price points. And so from there, they've said, what was the exact line? We're open to suggestion. So this is fun, guys. This is fun. I'm going to roll these sleeves up. They don't roll up because I'm wearing a suit. I'm going to roll these sleeves up, metaphorically, and I'm going to get into this, okay? So I want to look at location, and then I want to look at property. And so for the location, we're going to look at 5 things. We're going to look at, and you've heard this before if you've watched these videos for a long time, number 1, we're going to look at the neighborhood. I want to know where it is. I want to know what it's all about. Number 2, we're going to look at the schools. Number 3, we're going to look at the parks. Now, maybe kids don't play outside anymore. I guess they just sit inside all day and virtually play outside. Isn't there probably like an Xbox game where you're in a virtual park or something? I swear to God, when I was young, you could not get me home. I was all over the place, riding my bike everywhere. Box baseball. Remember when you go and play box baseball, you didn't even need to warm up? Now I'm literally stretching for 35 minutes before I do anything. It just could not get me inside. Oh my God, what was the Friday move? Fridays, go down to Trace Mains Park with that crappy rink that I don't even think they do it anymore, and do that right after school. And that was from like 3:45 to 5. Then ride my bike over to Hodgson, where they had from 5:30 to 6:30 or 6:45. They had an hour for my age group. Then I'd go home, grab a bite, and then go to Leaside Arena for skating, open skate. What's up? Remember that? You were the guy with the hockey gloves, and you just race around and drag your hands like knuckle dragging along the ice, see how fast you could go around the curve. And then there's some pretty girl that's like that, and then you're like, but then you realize it was actually the guy behind you. So there. Lick a stick. Remember that? Be scooping that stuff up. Actually, maybe that wasn't at age 13. Maybe that was a little younger. If you're eating lick a stick at age 13, yeah, there's something there that needs to be explored with a psychiatrist. Right, real estate video. Okay, so that was my point. No one goes outside anymore. Do we still even have the ordered list up, or was it lick a stick? No one goes outside anymore, but I do want to talk about parks because there's so little green space in Toronto, and it's something that I get a lot of people that are relocating here. They always talk about the lack of parks. And, you know, schools used to have fields outside. Now they're all full of portables. So the fourth thing I want to look at, man, that was a long tangent, is transit. I want to look at transit, not to say that you know, mom and dad moving here are necessarily going to be taking transit downtown, but I think it is important, especially in the context of Toronto, because we have a terrible transit system. And last but not least, a retail infrastructure setup. If you're in Leaside, you're looking at Bayview. If you're in Bloor West Village, you're looking at Bloor, obviously. So let's get another list up here. I want to look at 4 things specifically relating to the house. Because we're looking at detached only, and we're looking at 3-bed, 3-bath only, we're not looking at, you know, style, semi-detached, etc. We're going to go specifically into other indicators. Number 1 is lot size, and this is going to be very important, as you'll see, because there's some major differences here. Number 2 is the layout. If there's floor plans here, we're going to take a look at them. Number 3 is the bathrooms. Think about this. 3 bathrooms. Where are they? What are they? And I'll save you the surprise. What I want to know is, if there are 3 bathrooms, do you have a master ensuite bath? Or is it a basement, 2-floor main floor powder room, and then upstairs mom and dad share bath with the kids? That's tremendously important as we creep up in price. Number 4 is the basement. If it's not finished, it's going to affect the price. If it's not finished, it's not going to have a bathroom, and you need a rec room because, again, these are single-family homes. And last but not least, parking. Okay, so there's our top 5. I've already gone on my tangent for the day. That was a long one. Lick a stick, playing hockey at Hodgson. Okay, let's do this. So the first property we're going to look at here, guys, is 10 Minto Street. So where is 10 Minto Street? It is down here in what I would call quasi-Leslieville. Why quasi-Leslieville? Well, here's Leslieville. And if I were to zoom way, way, way out, you can see that this here is Broadview. And then this here is Jones, which is sort of as far as Leslieville goes for the most part. As far as Greenwood, maybe. But as you get on the other side of Jones, and yes, you've got Curzon, Leslie, Hastings, actually Alton, all great streets, you edge towards this area here. My favorite, I've showed you this many times, the main sewage treatment playground. Yes, combining 2 things that go together like peanut butter and jam. Sewage treatment and a playground. Okay, so Minto itself is a bit of an odd street. You can see here is the TTC, this is the Greenwood Yard. This is where all of the trains screech until all hours of the night. And Minto itself, off of Eastern, loops around. So it's a bit of an odd one. I mean, it's quiet, I'll give it that. We always wanted this little cul-de-sac when we were kids to put a hockey net where there'd be no through traffic, and certainly there is no through traffic here. But, you know, it steps to Queen Street a little bit further over and you're into prime Leslieville. But what is the house itself? So we have here 3-bed, 4-bath. Everything we're looking at is 3-bed, 3-bath. I just pulled this one because, as you're going to see, we're going from $1,189,000 all the way up to about 2.5. So the house itself, not huge, and I'm going to come back to that. It's essentially a new build. Come in through the front door, where do I put my coats? That's what I always look at. Hooks on the wall, maybe. So we've got this little sort of family room, we'll call it a living room at the front. And then you can see this staircase. So this kind of cuts things, because ordinarily you would be looking at having your dining room table there. But here's our dining room table, which is in what feels like a hallway. So it's this nice shot here of the length of the house. We've got bar stools here at the island. We've got a massive, what looks like 36-inch fridge. So here you can start to see what they've done with the stairs Oh, they are in the right direction. They've just got the landing pointed this way. And then you've got the dining room here. And it's not really a dining room. It feels like a dining hall. See how this chair is pushed right up against the wall? The magic of staging and photography. So my issue, okay. Oh, so we paid to stage down here, but not up here. Okay, so my issue with this one, as you're probably going to guess, is the width of the house. So it's done very nicely. And here we go. That's the set up to the... I think this is 3-story. Yeah, that was the point there. It's really tough to get a sense of the layout here because the photos obviously... Don't they know I'm filming? It's tough to get a sense of the layout here because, of course, we do not have staging. Now, this is a very interesting feature. We've got a glass wall you can see. So let's say you're laying here in bed and, oh, I don't know, your significant other says, I should not have drank that entire bottle of hot sauce. I don't know why I went there, but I did. And look, the toilet is in the wide open. The bath is in the wide open. I don't love that. You could change it if you wanted to, but you are paying to take out things that they have spent money on. So it's a big bathroom. I would say unnecessarily large. Toilet, standing shower, 2-person sink. There's a makeup area here, a big tub that you're probably never going to use because by the time you fill it, you'll be bored. It's the whole length of the house. And there's the basement. And you've got a built-in fireplace, which I don't personally like. And there you go. We're back to the main floor. Okay, these photos are out of order. Oh, this is what I wanted to show you guys. Cool. Okay, so what's the problem with this house? This. It's what you call ugly AF. Kids know what AF means. Know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's ugly. I mean, if that's your thing, fine. My mother always said, even 2 ugly people can get married. No, is that what she said? You know what? I'm drawing a blank here. But something like that. Even the ugliest people find a partner. So it's an ugly house. So it's 16.67 by 110 feet. The width is what I've got the issue with. So it is detached, but it is the width of your typical semi. So it's a brand new house, which is great. It's 3 stories. There is no floor plan here, so, and I hate when they do that. So, no, there's really nothing. I want to talk about the layout, remember? So, okay, living, dining, kitchen, obviously. You've got 2 bedrooms upstairs, and then you've got the 3rd floor master, which has the 5-piece, which was stupid large, and then a walkout to a deck, which is through the bathroom, which is also weird. The rec room downstairs, look at this, apparently is 52 feet long by 10.5. That's great, although that incorporates past the staircase, etc. The bathrooms, don't say where they are, but I'm going to assume that you've got a 4-piece downstairs. You've got a 5-piece upstairs, and then 2 3-pieces on the 2nd level. So what do I think about this one? As you can tell, I don't love it. The location is okay. The neighborhood itself, I don't love this particular spot right here. The schools. This is in the Duke of Connaught School District. It ranks a 5.8 out of 10 by the Fraser Institute. That's 1,764th out of about 3,000 schools. The parks. What about the parks? The parks. One of my favorite parks, the main sewage treatment. No, I've done that already. Okay. So it's a block from Greenwood Park. Greenwood Park is a dog park. It's also got a huge baseball diamond. You're a stone's throw from Woodbine Park. So it gets an A+ in the parks department. The transit, you've got the Queen streetcar going into the city. That's okay, but it's a hike, obviously, from the TTC. Last but not least, the retail infrastructure. It's decent. The big box stuff down here, you can see down here, you've got Loblaws, Freshco. So that's the Loblaws. Oh yeah, wait, let me zoom out. Okay, so down here, Canadian Tire, there's a huge big box spot there, and you're actually a stone's throw from prime Queen Street. So overall, what's interesting about this one is I don't love the house, I don't love the neighborhood, I don't love the school district. So what does that leave? Leaves a house that's listed at $1,189,000 with offers to be reviewed on the 27th. And this one is a prime candidate to come back out on the market at a higher price. Okay, I'm really behind here, guys. Maybe it was the 6-minute introduction talking about Lick-a-Stick. All right, 158 Briar Hill Avenue. You hear Briar Hill, you know Briar Hill. Let's go to the map on Briar Hill. A+ location. Look at this. Beautiful. This is in Lytton Park. Well, Lytton Park is here itself. What do we call this? Yeah, North Toronto. When in doubt, North Toronto. So it's in North Toronto, closer to the actual Lytton Park itself. It's 3 blocks from Eglinton Park, which is probably one of the most undervalued parks in the city. The people that know it, know it. People that don't have no idea that it's there. So 1, 2, 3 blocks from Lytton Park. It's a stone's throw from Yonge Street. So I'm going out of order here, but I'm basically showing you neighborhood's A+, the parks are great, transit, well, here's Yonge Street, and then the retail infrastructure. Look how close you are to Yonge. Now, this also happens to fall into the Allenby School District. Allenby, yes, you know it, 8.4 out of 10, ranked 165th out of 3,000 schools. So everything on this list so far is checked. What about the house itself? We're detached, obviously, 3-bed, 3-bath. That's the name of the game today. We're a 25-foot lot. So remember the first one was a 16.67. You're definitely going to feel the difference. 132 deep. Let's take a look at the photos here. Oh, I love when they give us the little descriptions. Hold on, let me go back to that. Front door with big proch. That says proch. I can read. They misspelled porch. Okay, so this house is, I don't want to say smoke and mirrors. I would say that this house is cleaned up nicely for selling. Nice staging. I wonder if that's a real fire. I am very curious to know now. That's all I'm going to think about actually right now. So somewhat original layout. They've taken out this wall. Remember, in an original layout, you would have living, dining, and then you'd have the kitchen, which is somewhat like a galley. Now, you've got this area at the back, which they're calling a family room. It's not. It's a sitting room. And by sitting room, I mean sitting spot. And by sitting spot, I mean, what the hell do we do? Let's put a couple of chairs there for staging purposes and this weird thing on the wall, whatever that is. That's a fun part about staging. So there you go. This right here is the edge of the kitchen counter, and this is a sitting spot. So you could call that a breakfast nook if you want to, even though it's maybe 10 feet from your dining room table. It's just a little too small to call it a family room. So there you go, original galley kitchen. We've got Perrier, so we know it's been staged. Nice shot of the 2-piece. Upstairs, master, awesome. Love it if that was wood burning. Probably not a ton of cupboard space. I don't know what this little thing is, a little Harry Potter closet for your kids. But as a master goes, in a house that is listed at $1.6 million, this thing's phenomenal. You can start to see here old mirrors, old tracks, right? We're looking for indications that this thing has just been cleaned up for showings, and that old light fixture. This thing here. This is in, when I bought this in 2010, I thought I was just really tasteful, and it happens to be in every single house. Bugs get caught in there. Okay, so here's the basement. Got a nice little TP. The staging is actually pretty decent, I'm not gonna lie. This might be a little better than I guess I initially thought. It just had that look from the first photo of, you know, we've cleaned this thing up to show. So here you can see unrenovated. You got the blue tiles, you've got the orange, I was gonna say orange marble, I don't know, orange tile, gold door handle. So that's original, and again here you can see a few older elements, but what the hell do you want for 1.6 million? So there you go, nice big double door walkout to a back deck. Got a heat lamp, got a garage with a basketball net. Oh, look at that, and a shot of the car in the garage. Very nice, very nice. Very nice job listing this, I will say. So it's a mutual drive, but it's not one of those mutual drives where you can't get a car through because each person has an air conditioner jutting out the side of the house, and they have 3 recycling bins. No, here you can get a Range Rover in there, and whoever took this photo, whoever took this listing, did a really good job to show there's a goddamn Range Rover in the garage. Okay, love the representation of this, love the house itself. I much prefer this style to, say, something like this next door. I like it. I like it a lot. The only drawback here is the following. A 2-piece bath in the main, a 4-piece upstairs, and a 4-piece downstairs. So mom, dad, welcome to Toronto. You're sharing a bathroom with your kids for the rest of your life. So listed at 1.6 million. This thing's going to get offers for sure. This thing has to go well over list. There's absolutely no way that you can get in to this area, this school district, this close to TTC, this close to Yonge Street and the retail commercial infrastructure with a house that is in pretty darn good shape for $1,599,000. I will buy it right now, board it up, and pay the taxes at that price. So let's take a look at the floor plan. I wanted to show you. I'm going to zoom in here. Are you with me here, guys? Okay, let's get this area. This is what I want to show. See sitting area? So they've called that on the listing, or at least let's say they've checked the box for main floor family room. You had that little table here, and you had those 2 little chairs there. So if, only if, it extended out this far, that's a main floor family room right there. So I don't know what that would entail. I'm not going to tell you to start tearing down walls, but I think the potential in this house is to build this out. And yes, you're going to lose the deck, but if you were to build this out just on a main floor addition, now consider that you don't have to redo the kitchen. A lot of people are going to want to. If you build it out this far, they're going to want to redo this as the kitchen. Now you're basically tearing down the entire inside of the house. But if you just wanted to do this and you were okay with the galley kitchen, you'd have an unbelievable main floor family room, and that's where the value is for this house. I absolutely love this one. I'm at 20 minutes. I have to get going here. Okay. Let's keep going here, guys. 37 Galley. So now we're into Roncesvalles. This is really cool. We started in Leslieville, we went to North Toronto, now we're in Roncesvalles. We're trying to show you a variety of houses. So where is Roncesvalles? If you don't know, I'm going to show you. Roncesvalles Village here, obviously Roncesvalles Avenue. We're basically looking between, I wouldn't call it Lansdowne, I would call it Macdonell, which is the street that goes here. We really don't want to be on the other side there. So 37 Galleys on the other side of Sororan, which puts you in Fern School District, as opposed to Garden School District. Now that makes a difference, because this house 37 Galley is in Fern, which ranks a 6.7 out of 10, 1126th out of 3,000 schools. Garden ranks an 8.3 out of 10, ranked 191st. So 1126th or 191st. Sounds like a big deal. Some people would say 8.3 versus 6.7. Who cares? 2 years from now, when the kids write the exam, we got this real up-and-comer. This kid's in grade 2 right now, performing at a grade 5 level. Wait until he's in grade 4, performing at a grade 30 level. He's going to blow that test away. And that's, of course, the knock on the Fraser Institute rankings is, you know, you get that one dumb kid, Billy, and he just fills in all the little bubbles on his scan card, the whole test is blown. So reason I'm saying this, of course, is because people that live in Ronces are going to say there's absolutely no difference, both great schools. I wouldn't disagree. So as far as schools, that's what we've got. As far as parks, Ronces has Sororan Park, which is over here. But of course, how close are you to one of the biggest parks in the city of Toronto, which is High Park? Now, Roncesvalles Avenue itself is where all your infrastructure is. TTC, it's not bad. You can take Queen Streetcar all the way in, or you can hoof it up here to Bloor, and you can be right on the subway line. Now, there's also the GO train here, which is phenomenal, and that takes you into the city, and I believe that's where the Union Pearson Express is. So overall, as far as location goes, gets fantastic marks. Now the house itself. So let's start here with the bathrooms. It is exactly what we're looking for here, with a 2-piece on the main, a 3-piece upstairs, and then, on the top floor, and a 4-piece on the second. So that tells you that you do have that extra bathroom. But again, it depends on how it's laid out. So let's take a look at the floor plan. Okay, so we're going to skip the main floor. Let's go to, that's lower. Let's go. Okay, here we go. So what they're calling the master bedroom on the second floor is this. Now you're basically sharing. See this? They're making it look like it's an ensuite, but you're basically sharing. See this exercise room office? That's what we call a tandem. You're probably just going to put a desk there. Then you've got bedroom number 2, and then here, which used to be a bedroom, you've got a walk-in closet / bedroom. It's pretty snug. I think they've turned that into a walk-in closet. So then upstairs you have a bedroom and you have a bathroom. So here's where things get real fun. You could make this the master. It's only 14.5 by 11, but you've got an ensuite and you're on your own floor. You just have no cupboards. Or you can make this your master, go down the hall to what used to be a bedroom and have a walk-in closet, but you're sharing a bath with your kids. Or I guess you could turn this into a closet. So anyways, there's a ton of potential here, but Prime Ronces, 25 by 123, great lot. Love the look. This is an Edwardian for sure. Lot of curb appeal. Let's take a look at the house itself. Love the beautiful porch. I wish. That's what people do. They put melted candles in there instead of a fireplace. Love the look inside this house. Very charming. They've opened it up out here for sure. So we've got a nice big dining area, a huge open concept kitchen. I wouldn't say huge, but that's pretty big. The rads you're going to have to deal with, folks. It's radiant heat. Some people love it. Some people don't like it at all. The knock against forced air is it blows particles through the air. Particles. Listen to me. Meet Mom. I'm a scientist. Just looking for my glasses. You put glasses on, you're automatically smarter. So radiant heat, obviously, it's water, hot water that is radiating, and it just gives off heat. Forced air, it's blowing through. So you need to change the filters. And then if you're a parent, you're familiar with the idea that forced air isn't as good for babies because, well, it shouldn't be as good for anybody. It's just blowing dust through the air. It's terrible in a condo, I can tell you that. I can leave in the morning, wipe the table with my finger when I get home, and there will be dust on it. So the other blight, of course, is the way they look. And then lastly, they take up space. So there you go, my thoughts on forced air versus radiant. So here's your little mudroom at the back, which is great. Upstairs, Here is your exercise room, which, as I said, I might turn into a walk-in closet. There's the bathroom. They've put the 2 sinks here. I don't know why, I guess to show you can have 2 people there. Upstairs, notice the frame here. We've got this hexagonal shape to it. This, as I said, could be the master, but you'd have no closet space, so they've turned it into an extra bedroom. And bathroom up top. And there's the kids' room. Cool. That's very cool. And where's the closet? Oh, they didn't show us the closet. The bedroom that they've turned into a closet. Here's the 2-piece in the main. Damn, didn't show us the bedroom. Okay, nice big back deck, 2-car garage, real 2-car, it's 25 feet. Beautiful. I love it. Love it, absolutely. Let's just go back here. There was something I wanted to touch on. Yeah. So, I mean, this has become the master bath. So, 2 sinks, shower, tub. You're still sharing it with your kids. Now, you could, if you wanted to, go upstairs to use this one. So this is where I would say that for those people that say, I'm not sharing a bathroom with my kids for $1,729,000, and this thing's, I don't know, it's kind of a floor of $1,850,000. You're not really sharing with your kids because you do have the other bathroom. So again, basement, it says here, partly finished. Is there a floor plan here? Yes, there is. We already looked at this. So down here in the basement, open area, stud wall. And they're not really saying what these are. So I'm going to assume that this is, what would we say if we put our real estate hat on? Finished to your own taste and specifications. There's opportunity down there, and there's your 2-car garage. Okay, love this house. Let's move on here. Oh my goodness, I have 2 more to do. Sorry guys, I'm going to keep you here after school. So 371 Broadway. Now we're into a higher price point, and we're into Leaside. So some people love it. Some people prefer not to be buried here. Actually, no, sorry, we're not in Leaside. We're on the other side. So we are, yeah. Okay, 371 Broadway. So we're in the busier spot here. Leaside is on the other side of Bayview, which is on the east side. This is on Broadway, which is in, I don't even know what you would call this area. Like I said, when in doubt, North Toronto. So there's a lot of cool cul-de-sacs here. I'm going to zoom in. See this, see this, see this. These are really cool streets. But Broadway itself is a thoroughfare for traffic. So you've got the infrastructure along here. Obviously, Bayview Avenue, the better part, is between Eglinton and over towards Millwood. In recent years, they've built up this here. God, this was a car dealership. I've told this story 100 times. I had a client ask. It was called Brennan Pontiac, I think. I had a client ask what it would take to buy it. That would have been a nice buy back in the day. So there's a Whole Foods here. I think there's a Loblaws. Oh God, remember there used to be Jumbo Video? Remember Jumbo Video back in the day here? And then the Bayview Car Wash. Whoever owns this is sitting on an incredible, soon-to-be 90-story tower. Okay, so 371 Broadview. Okay, so here's the question about schools. You would think that on the other side of Bayview, that's the natural transition for the school district. And I would have thought that coming in. In fact, I did. But take a look at this. 383 to 393 is in North Lee, and this is 371. 371 is still in North Lee. Now North Lee ranks an 8.8 out of 10 by the Fraser Institute. That's 89th out of 3,000 schools. Now if you were to look at where would you be on the other side, Eglinton, for example. Let's see Eglinton. I'll show you guys my secret here. Okay, you ready for this? Fraser Institute, you got to bookmark this. Eglinton. Where are we? There we are. Eglinton ranks a 5.8 out of 10. So, if we were, I don't know, maybe about here over, we're in Eglinton 5.8. We're here over, we're in North Lee, which also has a French immersion program. So we get an A+ mark for school, for neighborhood, parks, transit. We get the new LRT coming in, so that's got to be something. And then retail infrastructure is pretty decent. So this has been on the market for 20 days. I think it's fair to say that this is probably over $2 million, but they're a little bit pricey. So we'll take a look at the floor plan first and foremost here, guys. Oh, these are nice. So on the main floor, living, dining, and then this is your addition. Okay, so they've taken effectively, I want to go back here for a moment, they've taken effectively this here and the built-in garage. This was the original look. This is a 34.5-foot lot. If you're familiar with Leaside, these were all built post-World War II, and they had a bunch of different, they had, detached bungalow, they had semi-detached 3-bed, 2-bath, they had the detached, everything in there it's like a piano. You could literally, I wish I could with that piano. I was going to say, you know it. You just know the piano. I promise it made sense in my mind. I grew up in Leaside. You just know the type of houses. And so this here is the shape with the side garage. What they've done on the floor plan is they've just built off the back, which is really smart because they've kept this here, and then off to the back you've got breakfast area and kitchen. What you don't have is a main floor family room. Did they say that they have one? They did. I don't know where it is. Oh, it's downstairs. Family, lower. Not okay with me. Not okay with me. Okay, so upstairs here you can see bedroom 1, bedroom 2. When they've built this off the side, they built up over the garage, and over the garage, this is cool, they put the ensuite bath. And then they put a hall with a closet. So you have to walk through your closet, which is a little bit awkward. I'm sure you've got some, dressers or built-ins here. And then downstairs, you've got a huge rec room. So far I like it. I don't like that they're calling the basement rec room, the family room. So there's another look at it. Original brick. So updated on the inside. I don't love, I don't know, I never liked the open staircase. I guess it lets light flow through. So there you go, kitchen. Here's your master. It's just a huge, that's above the garage, right? The photos are out of order. I don't love this. There's only 11 photos. I really don't love this. Why are there 11 photos? You get 20 photos on MLS. Who listed this? This doesn't make any sense to me. You've been on the market 20 days. You built a nice house. I don't know. When the agent's address is like at hotmail.com, raise a few eyebrows. Okay, so there you can see this is a new build. Look how much bigger it is. This is the original structure with a bump out. Lot size is okay. Love the backyard. And then for some reason they threw a photo of the basement bathroom onto the back. Anyways, okay, so I hate the listing. I do like the property. But again, this is a $2 million property. Actually, maybe 2.1. I don't know. It could be up there. But overall, I like it. I'm going to move ahead now to the last one because we are really over time here. So we're going to go back to the west side now. And, okay, so last property, guys. Last one, I promise. Now we are back over to the west side, 19 Olympus Avenue. Perfect timing, Olympus during the Olympics. Huh? Okay, where is Olympus? Very cool spot, and I've included this one even though it's a much different price point. First of all, I wanted to show you 1.2 up to, what are we at here? 2.5, just to show you huge variation, obviously in 3-bed, 3-bath. But also, if you're coming from, I don't know, in Canada, let's say you're Vancouver, Calgary, you're out east, you're coming to a big city, something like this is a rare find, and I think people almost expect to see something like this. You are a stone's throw from High Park. You are down in this very cool little gully. So down Ellis Park, Starbucks at the top, frame of reference, got it? Starbucks at the top, down at the very base of Olympus. Cul-de-sac, super quiet, absolutely amazing location. So let me get that out of the way first. Neighborhood, phenomenal. Transit, A+, you're right in the blower line. Retail commercial infrastructure, obviously A+ as well. And then schools, this is in Swansea School District, which ranks an 8.3 out of 10, 191st out of 3,000 schools. The house itself, beautiful. Just look at the photo of the outside. Is this cool or what? Now they've referred to this in the listing as exquisite French country residence. I don't disagree. A serene ravine setting. Don't disagree. West End retreat. Phenomenal. Nailed it. I love this property. Of course, it's $2.5 million, but for what it's worth. So it's a 50-foot lot by 125. I'm going to go right to the back photos first. I love the drone. I did some drone shots at a couple properties. I think it's so cool. So from the back, you can see it sort of slopes downwards. Obviously, it's on a ravine. The ravine's back here. Now, what that means is you're going to have a big load-bearing wall that, of course, is your responsibility. And you've got multiple tiers. So you could have a little garden down here. You could grow tomatoes or marijuana if you want. Apparently, it's going to become legal soon. Cool garden back here. And a nice 2-tier deck. It looks like you've got a walkout from the basement. So now let's look at the photos in order. Wow, absolutely beautiful. This is your front yard. So cool. Look at the size of this hedge. So cool. And then inside, it's just more beauty. This is not my style at all, but it works. And it's going to be somebody's style. Offers any time on this one. In case you were wondering, the properties we looked at, 2 of them did not have offer dates. Sorry, 3 of them did not have offer dates. No, 2 of them did not have offer dates. Minto has an offer date. That's going to come back on the market because it's not going to sell. Galley has an offer date. That's going to go well over. And then Briar Hill, who knows what could happen with that. So the 2 that don't are Broadway, which has been on the market for 20 days, and this one here in Olympus, which I think they did right. List it higher or at market value. it's not a popularity contest here, and it can't be at the price point. So let's keep going here. The more I see this, the more I love it. I gotta have somebody to buy this. I'm looking like I still have a board with names on it. I'm old school. God, what a property. It's just phenomenal. Oh, double sink overlooking the window. It's even like the style too. This is beautiful. Are you guys with me on this? Absolutely beautiful. Look at this TV with in the built-ins. I want a bigger TV. This is, you can tell the age of the people. They're like, I got a 32-inch television. Yeah, I don't get out of bed for less than a 60-inch TV. So there you go. This looks like the number 8 to me. I was looking to see if this was a 2 or something. No, it's not. Look at the treed-in backyard. Beautiful. Sound like Don Cherry. I'm just throwing out adjectives. Beautiful. Great. Look at oh. It's my Don Cherry impression. So 3 bedrooms. Now remember I said the basement has a walkout. I don't love the tile, but look at how bright this is. And look at just the rounded archway of the windows, the French doors. It's just very cool. I know I'm making a big deal out of seemingly nothing, but I just think it's different. Everything today is just so square. It has feeling, it has warmth, it has creativity. Again, it's a different style. I certainly would not know where to buy a fixture like that, but it is so cool, and it walks out at grade. Look at this. This is outside. Remember I said there's a 2-tiered porch? This is on the main level. I'm giddy. This is such an amazing property. Look at this property. Oh, why didn't they wait until the photos actually look like that to sell it? Wow. And there we go. Back there. I'm enthused. I'm out of breath. I'm out of breath from 19 Olympus. Unbelievable. Unbelievable property. There are no floor plans. But I want to go down and take a look here. So upstairs, master, second, third, 4th bedroom in the basement with that rack and the den that walks out at grade. Now your bathroom situation. 5-piece ensuite, 3-piece for the kids, 3-piece lower. Unbelievable property. Best one of the day. Briar Hill, best value. This, best property without fail. Anyways, guys, once this is edited, I have no idea how long it's going to be, but I suspect I kept you for half an hour, and I apologize for that. I just got a little carried away today. So what conclusions can we draw other than the fact that there are massive price discrepancies when you're looking for a detached 3-bed, 3-bath? The first property was almost a throwaway because it was this little skinny mini stupid thing on a 16-foot lot at $1.2 million. But from there, you can start to see the Briar Hill is $1,599,000, probably going to sell for $200,000 over. The Roncesvalles again, $1,729,000, again somewhere in the 1.8, 1.9 range. I know it's a broad range, but let's just say it depends on the market activity. So you start to see, if you're the person that emails and says, I want a detached 3-bed, 3-bath in a nice neighborhood, there's a huge variation. And I tried, I mean, I could show you 3-bed, 3-baths that are more expensive, but I think this is a very good little mix of different areas. We looked at Leslieville, we looked at Allenby / North Toronto, we looked at Roncesvalles, we looked at a quasi-lease side called that North Toronto, and then we looked at High Park. Great areas. All of them have, slight pros and cons to them, but for the most part, I think you identified good school district, with the exception of Minto, good school districts, close to transit, retail infrastructure, parks. We nailed it right across the board. Anyways, I hope you guys found that helpful. Some of you that are watching back home, there you go. Now you can email me and say what you want to see, although these will all be sold when you come in. That is it for me for this week. Short week. Enjoy your weekend, guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.